All right. All right, we only have 4 questions. All right. Number 1. You guys watch? You watch the old video? You watch the old video?
I don't watch both. Yeah, both.
Yeah, but you were here.
Oh no, yeah, but then
That's for like people who are absent.
Oh no, why they not? I forgot what you did in class, so I talked to you.
All right.
It helped.
Wait. I gotta do all of number 1. Oh my goodness.
It took me an hour just to do one. Yeah.
Okay, it shouldn't be taking that. Okay, this is an honors class. Homework should take 45 minutes.
Oh, no way.
2 hours.
Takes me 2
Okay,
hours.
that means
Hard.
you're doing it the long way. That's what's happening. Okay, here, I'm gonna do one of them for you. I'm not gonna do all, okay? 'Cause we just don't have time. Oh, you want me to set it up then? Oh look, I made it easy for you. I made 0, 0.
Feel like
0, 0. That's like for babies, right? 8, 1. Oh, fraction. C is 4, 7. If you guys can't handle fractions, what's gonna happen, man? Pain. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, I want to do. No, we're gonna do the centroid. Because there's something to be learned. Did anybody learn anything from this problem? The reason why I give you homework is not so you just do it just because the teacher might check it. Because I write problems so that you learn. Did anybody learn something from the centroid? Yes.
You just add them all together and divide by.
Yes. How did you discovered that on your own, or you Googled it?
Well,
Google.
Or you asked somebody that took piece, or a math team person? Who was it?
I asked Jonah.
Bro, that's the best
Yeah.
answer.
So actually, there is a shortcut to computing the centroid. But see, I don't tell you that.
Why?
Because yeah, it's a math team secret. That's right. So to do it the long way, okay, the centroid is the intersection of the medians. So which median you want to do? Which midpoint? Which one you want to do first? A, B?
That one.
Okay, find the midpoint, which is 4, half, correct? Now what you want to do is write the equation of that line right there. So the first thing you do is you want to find the slope. So you go y minus y, 6.5, 13 halves. When you work with fractions, write improper fractions. It's better that way. All over 4 minus 4. Hey, that's undefined. That means this is a vertical line then, right? Well, it doesn't look like it in my picture, but so that's easy. Isn't that line just x equal 4 then? It's a vertical line. What could be simpler than a vertical line? Nothing. Okay, now you gotta do another one. Which one you wanna do, BC or AC?
BC.
Okay, BC. What is the midpoint? 6, 4. Hey, no fractions. And then you gotta connect it over there, so you gotta find the slope, which is 4 minus 0 over 6 minus 0, 2/3, right? And then what's the equation of the line? So can I assume everybody's doing point slope form then? Okay, so y minus 4 equal 2/3 times x minus 6, right? How do you find where these two lines intersect? Well, duh, x is 4, so you already know the x coordinate. How do you find the y coordinate? Well, you simply plug in 4 for x and solve for y. So what do we got? This is -2, so y is equal to 4 minus 4/3, but then this is 12/3, so then you get 8/3. Box that, that's the answer. Yeah!
Oh.
Mr. Park,
Uh-huh.
can you plug in either like the C or the midpoint? Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the line goes for both of those points. Yeah, so you can do either. Well, so that one was easy because one of them was, so if one of the lines comes out vertical or horizontal, it makes it really easy, right? Okay, but there is a shortcut to compute the centroid. Did you guys hear what she said?
No.
All you have to do is average the x coordinates and average the y coordinates. Of course, math team people, we just know it already, right, Con? Joe? Jen? Homework?
Oh, I made a mistake on the last homework. So instead of finding circumcenter, I found the centroid.
Okay, that wasn't the question, but whatever. Okay, now look at the x coordinates. What is the average of 0, 8, and 4.
4.
4.
Whoa.
What is the average of 0,
Oh, yeah.
1, and 7? 8/3. So to compute the centroid, you simply have to average the x values and average the y values. But doesn't that make sense if it's the balancing point though? Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So
Question?
like on a quiz, and then if it was like a centroid like this,
Yes,
do you have to-
should use the shortcut. You should use the math team secret.
yeah, I know, but like, do you can you like just like write 4 8/3, or do you have to kind of show?
No, you
plus
just
4
write down
plus-
4 8/3.
Okay.
Yeah. If I teach you a shortcut, here's a hint in this class. If I give you a shortcut, you should use it. Because you know why? It's shorter. Why do you want to do it long? Okay, what if I told you, okay, walk from here to, walk from here to McCully Shopping Center. Okay, I'm gonna start walking down, I'm going Hawaii Kai, and then Kailua, and then Kaneohe, and then go through the Wilson Tunnel. Why do you want to do that when you just walk there like that?
See the adventure.
Okay, do you also want me to set up the ortho center and the circumcenter? Just set it up?
Sure.
Okay, I'm not gonna, no, there are no shortcuts for the ortho center and there's no shortcut. The only one that there's a shortcut for is the centroid. That's the only one there's a shortcut for. Okay, B. See, now you don't feel so bad, right? Ortho center. Okay, this could take a while. 0, 0, 8, 1, and then 4, 7. Okay, so we need altitudes here. Which altitude do you want to do? The one from A, the one from B, or the one from C? C. So, wooga. Okay, so we got the point, I need the slope. How do I find the slope of this?
Perpendicular.
You gotta find the slope of this first. So this slope is 1/8. So shouldn't this slope be -8 then? So y minus 7 equals -8 x minus 4. Point slope. Okay, now we need another altitude. Which one do you want to do? The one from A or the one from B?
A.
Okay, so swing, like that, altitude. So you need this slope first. So if you compute the slope, that's going to be 6 over -4, which is -3/2. Therefore, this slope is going to be 2/3, right? Because it's perpendicular. And then using it with this, you get y minus 0 equal 2/3 times x minus 0. Boom! So wherever these two intersect, that's your ortho center. Now, how do you figure out where two lines intersect?
Oh, you did.
Yeah, substitution. Y equals 2/3 x, substitute it right there. You really want me to do this?
No.
Too late, I'm doing it already. Or you do. So, whenever I see fractions, my teacher taught me, get rid of the fractions by multiplying both sides by the least common denominator. So what do you got? 2x minus 21 is equal to -24x plus 96. So 26x is equal to 117. X equal 117 over 26, but that can be reduced by 13, right?
Yes.
So that's 9 over 2. How do I find the y coordinate? Plug it back into one of these. Which one looks easier? I think this one. So 2/3 times 9/2. The 2's cancel out. 3 goes into 9. 3 times y is 3/2. The ortho center is 9/2, 3/2. That's not that bad. How come?
Three.
What?
The y is 3. You count it out to 2.
That's what I said. 3. There's the ortho center. Okay, do I have to do circumcenter?
No.
You want me to set it up?
No.
No.
How come you guys wrote 1 then? Okay, there's silence there. Okay, write the equation of Euler's line. Now, did I talk about Euler's line yesterday?
No.
Or did I forget? Okay, in any triangle you form, you can form any triangle you want. If you compute the centroid, the orthocenter, and the circumcenter, there's something special about that. Those 3 points always lie on the same line. We say that those 3 points are collinear. And what do we call this line that contains the centroid, the orthocenter, and the circumcenter?
Euler's.
It's called Euler's line. In fact, I'm going to tell you number 1 on the test. Number 1 on every test for the last 30-something years has been, I'm going to give you the 3 vertices of a triangle. You have to write the equation of Euler's line. That's number one on the test. I'm telling you what number one on the test is. Question.
Is there a math team shortcut for that?
There's no shortcut. I'm sure, oh, yes, shortcut?
Oh, no. You, I had a question.
Oh, question.
You only need to compute like 2 of them.
Yes, exactly. So, on the test, should I compute all 3 of them?
No.
No, because they all lie in the same line, so you do 2. Now, out of the 3, which one is the easiest? The centroid, because there's a shortcut. And then now you have to decide, should I do the orthocenter or the circumcenter, because there's no shortcut. So I don't care what you do, you just do it. And then, okay, so let's say you did the orthocenter. So the line that goes through this point and this point is Euler's line. So how do I write the equation on that line? Compute the slope. So the slope of Euler's line is going to be y minus y over x minus x. What's the fastest way to simplify a complex fraction? Multiply top and bottom by the LCD, which is 6. You guys all do this?
Yes.
Or whatever. Okay, multiply by 6. What's 6 times 3?
18.
What's 6 times this? 16. What's 6 times that? 27. What's 6 times that? 24. So what do I got? I got 2 over 3. That's the slope of Euler's line. And then Euler's line, so you have to use one of these points. Which point do you want to use?
The right one. Well, what's the left one?
Which one?
The
Which
left
one?
one.
It doesn't matter. Pick
The
one.
left one.
Okay, the left one. So using point slope form, y minus 8/3 is equal to 2/3 times x minus 4. Now, if I don't tell you what form to leave it in, you can leave it in any form you want. There's your answer right there. However, on my test, I'm going to tell you what form to leave it in. I'm going to say leave it in, write your answer in general form. So how would you put this in general form? First thing I would do is multiply everything by 3. That's what I would do. So 3y minus 8 is equal to 2x minus 8. 8 just cancels out. So how about 0 equal 2x minus 3y, because I like my first term positive. Anybody notice anything? Like, isn't this the same thing as y equal 2/3 x?
Yes.
Didn't that come up in this problem somewhere?
I saw some.
Right here. Where's y? Right there. Where's y equal 2/3 x?
B.
Oh, right there. What? That was this one. That's Euler's line. Why is Euler's line the altitude? In fact, not only that, isn't this slope too? This is y equals 2/3 x as well. Hey, how come Euler's line it's the median, but it's also the altitude? Did anybody ever wonder that? I couldn't because I couldn't get the answers. But come on, somebody come up with something. Because this triangle is isosceles. Did anybody notice that from the beginning? Like when you see points like that, do you go, hey, this is root 65 using the distance formula. Hey, that's root 65 using the distance formula. This is isosceles. Therefore, Euler's line has to be the altitude or the median then. Katoosh!
Wow.
Now, usually there's 1 or 2 people that notice that, but in this period, 0.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you noticed it and then what? So actually, you could have done this problem, if this is number 1 on the test, you can do this problem in like 5 seconds then.
Wait, I have a question.
If
Oh.
it's isosceles. Yes.
Can you work it all the way to general form? Because like on your answer key it says like 2x minus 3y.
Yeah, right here.
That's-
2x minus 3y equals 0, right? That's general form.
Oh yeah, sorry, I
Right.
couldn't see that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay, I get it.
this is number 1. I just told you number 1 on the test. Isn't that good?
Yes.
The only thing that's going to happen, I'm just going to change these numbers. Is that going to be a problem? Well, we'll find out. Won't we?
Are they going to
So,
be nice numbers?
Huh?
Lazy
It's very difficult. Well, all of these numbers are nice. See, it just depends what you call nice. Whole numbers.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
no is no.
Wait, so if you have an equilateral triangle, will they all just be?
Okay, I'll tell you right now, it's very difficult to make an equilateral triangle. Because there would be a lot of radical 3's in there. I could make one, but there's going to be like a lot of radical 3's in there. So, ooh, that gives me an idea.
Oh.
Hey, anything?
Chico.
I didn't sing.
You're saying.
Joe.
think about it. But then see, now when you see the radical 3's, then you're gonna think it's equilateral, and then you got the answer already, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no! No, you know why? Because think about it. No, think about it. See, no, that's a good question. If you have an equilateral triangle, what is Euler's line? That's because the centroid, the orthocenter, and the circumcenter are all the same point. So how many lines go through that point? Infinitely many, that's right. So, no, I wouldn't give an equilateral triangle. That was a good thought though. See, you're a potential math teacher right there. No, that's the way you gotta think. Number 4, we're moving on. Oh, here we go. Okay, wait. How come you can do number 3 but not number 4? Okay, we need to do number 3. Can everybody do number 3? Did you do it the long way or the short way? Okay, here we go. Well, what's the long way? Well, how did you do it?
Did you plug in the equation?
What equation?
The D equals.
Oh, the one that I have in the notes.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be the short way.
Oh, okay.
Now, some of you are going, what short way?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, here's a line, here's a point. Now, let's say you don't know anything. You don't know. How do I find the distance between this point and this line? And anytime you're finding the distance between a point and any graph, it's the shortest distance. So the shortest distance would be the perpendicular distance right there, yeah? So to do the problem the long way, how would I find this distance?
Eyeball it.
No. Eyeball your grade. No, what do you know how to do? I know how to find the distance between 2 points. Well, is there a way I could find this point?
Do the
Yeah,
slope.
write the equation of the line and then find where they intersect, right? So, what's the slope of this line right here? Just by looking at it.
Oh.
4/3, or solve for y, whatever you gotta do, 4/3. Therefore, the perpendicular would be
Negative.
-3/4. And it's gotta pass through this point, so y minus 5 is equal to -3/4 x minus 9. So you have to find where this line and this line intersect. And it's gonna be a point, and did anybody do this? It came out kinda ugly, yeah? They didn't have fractions in it and stuff? Okay? So, you find where they intersect. Once you get this point, you simply use the distance formula between this point and that point, and then you're done. But it takes a while. You gotta do quite a bit of algebra. There's gotta be an easier way, monsieur. Yes, if you look in the notes, it says the distance between a point and a line, if the line is written in general form. The line has to be written in general form, like this, and the point x1, y1 is given by the absolute value of ax1 plus by1 plus c, all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. How many people noticed that? So everybody did it the long way? No, I just skipped it and wrote the number on the board. Nobody wrote number 3 on the board. Okay, so let's see how this formula works for this problem. First thing, you gotta put it in general form. Is that in general form? No, general form means make one side 0 and throw everything else on the other side. So you have to bring the 4 over. That's general form. This is A, this is B, this is C. This is x1, that's y1. Plug and chug into that formula. So you get absolute value of 4 times 9 minus 3 times 5 minus 4 all over the square root of 4 squared plus -3 squared. Can everybody plug and chug?
Yes.
Okay, so what do we got? We got 36 minus 15 minus 4. What's 36 minus 19?
17. Wait, sorry. What? 17, right? 17, right? No, wait. Oh, no. Never mind.
Yeah, it is 17, but why would it,
Oh.
did my answer come out
It's supposed
ugly?
to be +4. Plus C.
Because you have to make it to the.
Oh, did I copy the problem wrong? Ah, you guys, that's a -4 there. So that's a +4. That's a copy error on a test is -1. You copied it wrong. Okay, +4, so this is a +4, so what's 40 minus 15? 25. And what's the square root of 16 plus 9? 5. And look how nice I make my answers come out. See, that's why I knew something was up, because when I make my answers, I make them come out. Why do you think the absolute value is here?
Because it's this.
Yeah, because distance cannot be negative. That's why you need the absolute value there. But how come every single year on the test, people put like negative, they put negative as the answer? That would be a -2 or 3 error, because distance cannot be negative. So, which way would you rather do this problem? This way or that way? I think this way. But that means you gotta memorize this formula, and I'm gonna give you a hint, this formula is gonna come up throughout this whole year. So, put it into your memory banks and keep it there. You guys never seen that formula before? Math team people, you did, yeah? Whatever. Okay, number 7. No, we're gonna do number 4. Okay, you got these two parallel lines. Woo! Woo! Huh?
Nothing.
15x minus 8y equal 34. 15x minus 8y is equal to negative 51. Actually, I got it wrong. This one's supposed to be on the top and that one's on the bottom. You know how I can tell? This one's supposed to be on the top, this one's supposed to be on the bottom. Because what is the y-intercept here? Positive 51 over 8. The y-intercept of this one is negative 34 over 8. So this one's lower. Okay, anyway, it says find the distance between the two parallel lines. Well, what do we know how to do? We know how to find the distance between a point and a line, right? Well, aren't lines made up of an infinite number of points? Can you find one point on either of these lines? Yeah, so which line you want to find a point on?
The top one.
Okay, the top one. Okay, here we go. Can I find any point on that? I would hope so. And it doesn't matter, just find a point. You know what I would do? I would just go 0, 51/8. Right? You plug in 0 for x, what does... And you don't have to do that. You could have picked the... What about make y equal to 0? Then what would x be? Really? Negative 51 over 15. Did anybody come up with like a nice one? Like whole numbers, integers? Okay, let's try just for funsies. Can anybody come up with integers? 3, no. 15. Oh, that's too difficult. Okay, I'm not gonna try already. My brain's tired. Okay, which one you want to go with? A or B? Okay. How do you find?
I did 2 and -1.
Oh. Oh, but then it's still fractions, right?
It's better than that.
No, it's not. Now some people are like, Mr. Park, that's so ugly. But watch. Watch. How do I find the distance between this point and that line, which is the distance between the lines, yeah? Use the formula, but remember, it has to be in general form, so you gotta bring the 34 over. Minus 34 equals 0. Okay, go. Absolute value of 15 times 0 minus 8 times 51 over 8. Not so ugly anymore, right? Minus 34 all over the square root of 15 squared plus negative 8 squared. Okay, what do we got? 0 minus 51 minus 34. What is that? What is the absolute value of negative 85? 85 all over, what is the square root of 225 plus 64?
17.
Anyway, that's a Pythagorean triple. 8, 15, 17. That's how. And remember the ones I like to use on the test? 12, 35.
8, 15, 17.
No, 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 no. No. The ones I like to use on the test. 12, 35.
37.
Thank you. 37. 20, 21. 29, 9, 40, 11, 60. Or do you want me to just do a mundane 5, 12, 15?
Yeah.
Okay, box that, that's the answer?
No.
No, that's a -1. Simplify that to 5. Simplifying is only a 1-point error.
Whoa. I didn't realize 85 divided by 17 is funny.
It's okay, -1. 99 is a darn good score, right? Yeah, 99 is a darn good score on this test. Number 7. Come, everybody can do the best fit straight line?
Yes.
And then did you look at the notes about the R thing that pops up? R? Didn't your calculator give you a value of R?
Yeah.
How come some people saying yes and some people saying no? If you look at the notes, what is that number R? the correlation, anybody taking AP stats?
Ollie.
I dropped.
Okay, never mind. Okay, number 7. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do this problem. The easy way or the hard way. Gotta think. This is a thinking class, people. Okay, you have these 2 points. It says write the equation of the set of points that are equidistant. Okay, so one way is to go, okay, I don't know what they're talking about. Here is a point. I don't know what it is, so I'll call it xy. And what's the condition that has to be placed on it? It has to be equidistant from these 2 points. And what does equidistant mean? The distances are equal. So how do you find the distance over here? Distance formula. I'm just going to do this quickly. How do I find that distance? Square root x minus 4 squared plus y minus 7 squared. And then equidistant means they're equal. How many people did it that way? And then you got the answer, right? No, it's not that hard. But is there a faster way? Yeah, you gotta think. You gotta ask yourself, well, what is the set of points that are equidistant from 2 points? Well, wouldn't it simply be the perpendicular bisector of the segment?
Yes.
Because every single point will be equidistant, right? Every point you pick, look, it's the same distance. So all you have to do is write the perpendicular bisector. So first you find the midpoint. What is the midpoint right here? 1, 3. And we need the slope, so we got to figure out the slope of this one first. What's the slope of this one? 8 over 6, which is 4/3. Therefore, what's perpendicular to that? Negative 3/4. Along with that point, point slope pagkatize it. Y minus 3 equals negative 3/4 x minus 1. Boom! Which way do you like better?
That one.
Actually, that's better, but then this isn't really that bad, right?
No.
Because the x squareds and the y squareds cancel out. It's not that bad. Yeah.
So we can leave it like that, yeah.
Yeah, so if I don't tell you what form to leave it in, you can leave it in any form. But I am going to tell you on the quiz and test. I'm going to tell you what form to leave it in. And then, as usual, number 8, is that the last problem?
Yes.
Is the coup de grace. The bestest problem. Write the equation of the, I'll give you a hint. This was on last year's test. I'm just reading it right now.
Wow.
This was on last year's test, so therefore what? It's on this year's quiz.
What?
I don't know, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just telling you what happened last year. This was on last year's test. I have so many problems in my mind. Whatever. Write the equation of the lines. It says lines. What does that mean?
Multiple.
There's more than one answer, people. Passing through this point so that the area of the triangle that's formed by this line is 27. So we want the area of this triangle to be 27. Now, how do I do this problem? Now, there's lots of ways of doing it. Like, you know what? Okay, so why don't we call this A and that B? So in other words, A is like the x-intercept and Y is like the B is like the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
So the area of this triangle is 27. What can I write down? 1/2 base times height equals 27. You just got 1 point right there on the test. Isn't that good?
Yes.
Okay, but got 2 variables, so you need another equation. Now there's lots of ways to come up with another equation. How many of you like drew this in and then you got similar triangles? Okay. Isn't this triangle up here similar to that one? Or you can draw this line in and then this triangle is similar to that one. So you can go like this over this equal that over that. Right? Nobody did that. Okay. Doesn't matter. Well, what I wanted you to do is go, hey, since I got both the x and y intercept, why don't we use intercept form of the line? What's the intercept form of a line? X over a plus y over b equals 1. But the line passes through this point, so what do you think I'm going to do at that point? You plug it in. If I plug in 4 for x and 3 for y, just like SAT, they always say, this graph passes through this point, what's the value of b, right? You just plug in the point. And then now look, you got 2 equations, 2 variables, and you just solve it. See, that's what you gotta do. You gotta write equations and you gotta solve it. Do I need to solve this for you? No. Please say no.
No.
Okay. And can you see that you're gonna get 2 answers because it's gonna lead to a quadratic equation? Maybe not yet, okay, but go a couple steps, hey, I got a quadratic equation, that's why you got two answers. Alright. So like I told you, 3 questions from linquad1, 3 questions from linquad2. So how much time? 20 minutes? 20 minutes. I don't think you should take longer than 20, right? Unless you do. Alright, we gotta move on to the next chapter. I believe the next chapter is just solving quadratic equations and complex numbers. Okay, let me just scroll, let me make sure. Yup, complex numbers. Ooh, quadratic equations. Now, complex numbers are on the SAT now, right? Yeah, does everybody know what a complex number is? What is a complex number? Well, how did you guys learn it in Algebra 2? No, what is a complex number? Not what is I. What is a complex number? A complex number is a number that can be written in the form A plus BI. A is called the real part. B is called the imaginary part. So for example, and of course you guys know that I is the square root of -1, right? And can I assume that everybody knows how to compute I squared, I cubed, and I to the 4th like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so a complex number, what it is, a complex number is a vector in the complex plane. Now, you guys are used to the Cartesian plane, right? In the Cartesian plane, what are the axes? The x and the y axis, but in the complex plane, we have the real and the imaginary axis. So, for example, if you have the complex number 4 plus 3i, what you do, what is the real part? 4. So you go 4 on the real, and what's the imaginary part?
3.
No, 3, not 3i, 3. So basically you plot the point 4, 3, and then you draw an arrow that goes from the origin to that point. That's the complex number 4 plus 3i. Now you guys in physics, you guys know what a vector is, right?
Yeah.
It's an arrow. And if you haven't taken physics yet, that's all you gotta know. It's an arrow. That's 4 plus 3i. It's a vector.
Wait, can you show how you drew that? Sorry.
Yeah, you just plot the point 4, 3, and then draw an arrow that from the origin to that point.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Okay, now what is this? If you're following the notes, what is this? And don't say absolute value.
The distance, length.
The length. Okay, you guys in physics know that when you have a vector, when you put the bars around it, it means the length of the vector, right?
Yes.
So when we work with complex numbers, this is called the length of the complex number, or we call it the modulus. Well, how would I compute the length of this vector right here? Look at that. How about make a right triangle? This is 4, this is 3, so using the Pythagorean theorem, that's 5. It's simple. You guys want a formula? Okay, I'm gonna give you a formula. If you're given a complex number like this, the length of it is simply the square root of a squared plus b squared.
Isn't that just pi then?
Yeah, that's the Pythagorean theorem. Because look, if you go a to the right and b to the up, what is that distance? Isn't it that? Pythagorean theorem? That's all it is. Okay, so the beginning, yes.
Does a vector have to come from the origin?
Yes. No, it does, a vector doesn't, but for complex numbers it does. Yeah.
Wait, why?
Well, because that's just the definition of it. Okay, so 1 and 2. How come there's no number 3? I think I took it off to make the homework less. Anyway, so 1, 2, and 3, you're just doing things with complex numbers. Look at number 2. Can I assume everybody, what does 2 plus I to the -3 mean? What does -3 power mean? You know what, I'm gonna do it wrong because I don't know what you guys know or not. Okay, what if you had something like 2 minus 3i cubed? Can I assume everybody knows how to cube something?
No.
Wait.
When you come out of algebra 2, you're supposed to be able to go x plus y cubed. Okay, when you come out of algebra 1, you should be able to do this. Okay, what is it?
X squared plus 2xy.
When you come out of algebra 2, you're supposed to know this. X cubed plus 3x squared y plus 3xy squared plus y cubed. When you come out of pre-calculus, you should be able to do x plus y to the nth power. We're gonna learn this later on in the first quarter. Okay, but for right now, can you guys at least do x plus y cubed? That's algebra 2. Your teacher is supposed to have drilled that into you. Okay, so here, this is x, and maybe you guys should write it like this then. Write it like this then. 2 plus negative 3i. This is x, this is y, go. Do I have to write it out? Okay, I'll write it out for the first time. X cubed plus 3x squared y plus 3x, this is an I, fool, squared plus y cubed. There. Now simplify each one. Go. 8.
Plus
What?
plus
Minus.
Oh, 36.
Where are you getting the 12 from?
Oh,
This is 12, but then you gotta multiply it by negative 3. Negative 36i.
Plus.
Okay, I'm afraid to ask the answer.
minus,
Isn't this the
Negative
same
one,
thing
no.
as 9i squared?
yes.
But what is I squared?
Negative one.
Negative 1, so therefore?
Was 54.
Okay, wait. This is the same thing as negative 9 times 6.
Negative 54.
Thank you.
Oh,
And then this is negative 27i cubed, right?
Yeah.
And what is I cubed again?
Negative I.
Negative I, so.
Plus
So if this is negative I
plus
plus 27i. So when you work with complex numbers, you do work with the real and the imaginary part separately. So what is this? Negative 46, and then add these two together, minus 9i. Boom, that's how you do it. See, this is good review. You guys did learn this, but you guys just forgot things. You guys are rusty. Okay, yeah, question.
I forgot. Can you like make that into like 46 plus 9 on it or not?
You're thinking of the conjugate.
Something like.
Okay, this is the kind of problems you get on the SAT now. Simplify this. 2 plus 5i over 3 minus 4i. How do you simplify a complex number like that?
Oh.
You multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of 3 plus 4i is 3 plus 4i. That's what you're thinking of, right? The conjugate.
Well, I'm just wondering if you can get rid of the negatives.
No, that's not inclusion.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, never mind. You can't just multiply a number by a negative number. You can't do that, right? Like, how old are you? Negative 16. No, you can't. Okay, next. Okay, what else do I have to teach you?
How do you do that number 5 one?
There's a pattern. Now, if I ask you to add 100 numbers, you're not going to simplify each other. There's a pattern. That's all I'm going to tell you. There's a pattern. But you guys know, right? You guys know how, like, okay, maybe we got to review this then. How would I compute I to a really big number? What is this year?
Oh, you.
2019. Okay, how do you
Goes by
simplify
four.
that?
Goes
Yeah,
by
it
four.
repeats every 4, right? Because, okay, this is what you got to know for those of you who forgot. I squared is negative 1. I cubed, this is the square root of negative 1, yeah? I cubed is negative I to the 4th is 1, and then it just starts repeating. This is I to the 5th, I to the 6th, I to the 7th, I to the 8th, right? It just repeats every 4. Okay, so what do? Okay, first of all, what's the biggest multiple of 4? 2016. So isn't this the same thing as I to the 2016 times I cubed?
Yes.
Okay, why do I pick a multiple of 4? Because isn't this the same thing as I to the 4 to the 504th power? Now, why do I do that? Because that's 1. What is 1 to the 504th power? Yeah, so all of this is just 1, so the answer is simply I cubed, which is negative I. So all you do is look for a pattern. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, now look at number 6. You're solving equations. And guess what? You're going to be getting quadratic equations. Okay? Now let's review what a quadratic equation is. What is a quadratic equation?
X.
An equation that looks like this. It has a second power, that's a quadratic equation. And what are the two solutions of a quadratic equation? What are the solutions of a quadratic equation? Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What did you think it was?
Like A over B or something.
I thought it was vocab.
What are you talking about? No, you see this thing in the radical?
Discriminant.
That's called the A. There you go. It's called the discriminant.
Vocab.
Well, you guys had vocab tests for algebra 2 honors? Maybe I should do that in this
No.
class.
We didn't have it. We didn't
What's
have it.
modulus? What does modulus mean?
Distance.
No, the length,
Oh,
the length
length.
of the vector. Okay, the discriminant can tell you a lot of things about a quadratic equation. If the discriminant comes out positive, this is all in your notes, yeah?
2 real roots.
You get 2 real roots. I'm not gonna write it down, it's in your notes. What if the discriminant is equal to 0?
1 real root.
You have 1 double root that's real,
yeah.
it's called double root, because it's the same, yeah? Like 5 and 5 or something. And if the discriminant comes out negative, negative,
Yeah, no real.
you have no real solutions, you have imaginary numbers, complex numbers, yeah? But let me ask you this now. What happens if the discriminant is a perfect square?
And
What does that mean?
Wait, is that?
What does that mean?
You're gonna have a nice answer.
Yeah, so that means the roots are,
Oh.
okay, have you ever used the quadratic formula and inside the radical came out to 16, then you go, darn it, I could have factored it then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what does that mean if you can factor it? That's right, you have rational roots.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know, okay, this of course all depends on, you guys know what a rational number is?
Yeah.
A number that can be written as a ratio, oh no, this is a discussion for logic. Oh. A rational number is a number that can be written as an integer over another integer, like 2/3. Or how about 0.375? Is that a rational number? Yes, because you can write it as 3/8. Say what? What about 0.7 repeating? Is that a rational number? Yes, because you can write that as 7/9.
Wait, so why is having a perfect
What?
why is having a perfect square like give it rational?
Okay, here, let's go back to 8th grade. What if I gave you this equation? 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, let's say you didn't factor it, you go, I'm going to use quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? Now how do you compute this number right there? You get 9 plus 40, which is 49, so that's 7 then, right? Then you go, oh darn it, I could have factored it then. Whenever this thing comes out to a perfect square, that means you're going to have rational roots, which means you could have factored it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
See, because look, why use the quadratic formula when you can just do this? 2x, x,
Oh, I get it. Now.
5 and 1, minus plus. The answers are 5/2 and -1. No need no need to use quadratic formula. This is the part I like quadratic formula, because I don't like factoring. Well, you guys already proved that already, or linquad2, yeah? You guys don't like factoring. That's why you gotta get good. Why do you think you guys did dozens and dozens of factoring problems in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2? Just so teachers have jobs? No! So that you get, that's how you solve equations, people. You make one side 0 and you factor the other side. That's how you solve equations. Okay, does anybody have questions about the discriminant? Now, tonight's homework, there's gonna be questions on the discriminant. Like, okay, I'll give you one. Look at number 7 and 8. Okay, we gotta go over this and one more thing. Okay, I'm gonna do a problem similar to that. How about 2x squared minus 7x plus k equals 0? Find me the 3 smallest positive values of k so that this will have rational roots. So what should I do? Should I just guess and check?
Use
Try.
the discriminant.
Oh, not just smallest positive integer values. Or integral values, that means integer.
3.
3 words? And then just keep guessing and checking them. So go 1, no, 2, 3. No! What has to happen in order for you to have rational roots? The discriminant gotta be a perfect square. So what's the discriminant? B squared minus 4ac. So 49 minus 8k has to be a perfect square. Now, isn't that easier to do?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try. You know what? I should have gone negative k. Let's do negative k. So that's negative, that's positive. No, that's better. Okay, what positive numbers can I plug in for k so that you get a perfect square? 1, 49 plus 8, is that a perfect square? 2, 49 plus 16, is that a perfect square? Is 65 a perfect square? Then you try 3, 49 plus 24.
No.
No, okay, plug in 4, 49 plus 32.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 81. See? Isn't that a lot easier than plugging the number in here and seeing if we can factor it? You just look at the discriminant. The discriminant has to be a perfect square. Question.
Does 0 count?
No, positive means greater than 0.
Oh.
Greater than 0. Okay, we got one last thing to learn. Oh. Woo! Okay, everybody agreed that a quadratic equation has 2 roots. Okay, now this is from Algebra 2. Let's call the 2 roots R1 and R2. What did we learn in Algebra 2? If you add the 2 roots together, I think somebody said something back there. If you add the 2 roots together, you will always get, I heard it over here. Was it you, potential teacher?
I think it was me.
No, it was somewhere in this neighborhood and it was a male. It's negative b over a. Does that sound familiar? Of course, mathy people, we know, right?
That's the
If you multiply the 2 roots together, you will always get c over a. That's right. Mr. Park, okay, I hope I can teach you all this in 5 minutes because this is a math team secret. I gotta teach you. Okay, now what if we go backwards? If I give you a quadratic equation, you can get the roots right. But what if I go backwards? What if I give you the 2 roots? Look at number 9. Okay, what if I give you the 2 roots? I want to make it different from now on. So how about 3 plus or minus root 7 over 5? Can you write a quadratic equation where these are the roots? Yeah, you can. You know what a lot of people do? They go backwards. They go, okay, the roots are negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So they figure out, oh, a gotta be 5 over 2 then, and they try to like work backward. And you can. But then when the numbers get complicated, like what if I put an I there and things like that? Whoop. Yeah. So is there a better way? Yeah, you use this. Okay, here, let's try it. I'm going to write the 2 roots separately. Okay, here are the 2 roots. If I add them together, what do you get? What is this plus this? Add them together.
10.
6.
10!